We're made to believe that we're invincible, but it's not until you're faced with really difficult times and you realise that life is precious.
Adult male trauma.
He's got a partial degloving of both hands.
St Georges A&E, 10 minutes.
He's got head on into a bus.
Almost totally amputated.
I'm not joking.
You're always so busy.
Well, they're open 24 hours, 7 days a week.
St George's, London.
Welcome to the madhouse.
One of Britain's busiest A&E departments.
Right, CT are ready.
We need 2 units of O&A now.
OK, this is really time critical. It's our job to look after you and worry about you.
That we're going to find out what's going on with you, OK?
Thank you.
A place where life...
Success.
Love...
She's all right. She's all right.
And loss unfold every single day.
Love you.
Filmed across one 24-hour period, these are the stories of a nation and its health service.
Brave little man.
I'll never fully understand how people manage to get through one of the worst things they've ever had to deal with in their life.
God, I can't believe this has happened. So brave, isn't it?
You see people from every single walk of life, and it makes you realise the common threads of humanity far outweigh any differences.
My dad's not been well for a while. I worry about him. I'm an only child. It's just me. So if something goes wrong, I'm the person that has to look after my dad. The way that he is within the culture, he's an Iranian man, you know. He doesn't want to have to rely on somebody else. He doesn't want to have to rely on his child. I knew he didn't want me to worry because he doesn't like fuss. My dad's my everything.
St George's emergency. Yeah. Is it medical or trauma? Go ahead. Yeah.
The 58-year-old man is being rushed to St George's with a suspected heart attack.
Cheers, bye.
Add a priority 15 minutes.
The man has a history of heart problems and has been feeling unwell all day.
My dad was at home on his own. He was having chest pains. So he's called the ambulance. And I just left everything and drove to St George's straight away. Crazy thoughts were going through my head. I was panicking and praying.
People describe their pain when they're having a heart attack like there's an elephant sitting on their chest. What do you mean shoving a nebulizer on 5? They're on 5 subbutymal. They don't get treatment quickly enough. Their heart can go into abnormal rhythm and then they can go into cardiac arrest and ultimately die.
So he's had central chest pain radiated to his left arm since 1 o'clock. He is due some sort of cardiac investigation, but he doesn't know what for.
Okay.
He looked like a genuine cardiac.
Doesn't look great, does it?
No. He's got some existing back pain, problems with his leg. The reason for this is that he's got combat injuries. He was in the Iran war.
Thank you very much. Hello, sir. I'm Laura. I'm one of the doctors. What were you doing when it got bad?
Nothing.
Just sitting. Okay.
Yeah.
And is this the worst it's ever been?
The worst it's ever been.
Have you had a heart attack before?
Yes.
Okay. So what did they do when you had the heart attack?
They kept me in hospital for a while, but it wasn't like this before.
What other health problems have you got?
I have a word disorder.
You've got back pain from that, is that
yes,
right?
Back, leg.
Okay.
Shoulder, neck, everywhere.
Okay. And you live by yourself?
Yes, but my daughter helps me out.
Your daughter helps you out, okay.
I need to do some blood test, okay? Laura? You want a BBG or not really?
Yes, please. Absolutely. It's not that easy to diagnose a heart attack. A lot of what people think about heart attacks is somebody clutching at their chest and dropping down dead, which does happen, but most of the patients we see are actually fully conscious. He's got like a heart attack look about him.
A lot of thoughts were going through my head. I was panicking, I was scared. I was like, God, please don't take my dad away from me. Let him be okay.
This guy's got a horrid looking ECG, he's just hit red. And ongoing pain, so I was going to phone cardiology.
Jahan is in resus with severe chest pains.
The worry is that you might be having a heart attack. Okay, so that's what we're treating you for at the moment. The cardiology doctor's going to come down and see you, okay? The main thing is trying to get your pain under control, okay?
Yes.
How does it feel at the moment?
I have a pain here.
Still there, okay. And we're going to give you some medications to help with the pain and help with your heart at the moment, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Just a couple more pills.
Okay.
That will help with your pain, okay?
Okay.
Here we are.
When my dad grew up in Iran, he had a big house and a swimming pool with the biggest gardens. And there was loads of fruit trees and everything growing in there. He loved the garden.
You want to sit up a bit? That'll help.
My dad was just being a guy out there. He was on his motorbike and everything. Growing up, I think my dad thought he was the man in Iran, you know, like a G. Like, I think he thought that he was some kind of a boss out there.
Water?
Yeah.
Once the revolution came in, everything changed. The revolution started because they wanted to overthrow the king and bring in a new regime. They brought the Islamic rules and regulations in. My dad was around 17, 18 when he went into war. He loved the king. And in Iran, you had to go and fight for your country. He had no choice. That left a lot of bad memories with him. I remember him telling me one time how he was hiding out. Looked to his left and there was like a dead body there. There was a wallet inside and he opened up the wallet and he said he should have never ever done that because he saw the guy's family, children, and it broke his heart. Like, he got really depressed seeing that. He saw one of his friends get blown up. Obviously, that's going to devastate you. And all of these thoughts will forever be in your head. They will always play with you. You'll always remember the moments.
We're going to get you some morphine for the pain, okay?
Okay. I had the morphine before.
You've had it before, yeah?
I used to inject too much in Iran. Here as well.
Fine. And now you're on the methadone?
Yes.
Okay.
If I don't take methadone, I can't move.
Okay.
Why is he taking methadone?
He had a previous morphine dependency due to combat injuries.
I know he suffered a lot of injuries and mental health issues. In war, you have to do things that you don't want to do, and he was very young. I think that really destroyed him, and I just feel like he hasn't come back since.
Do you feel sick? Do you feel sick? Yeah? So cardiology are going to come down.
Coming down.
Just do with him quite quickly, like, as a priority.
I'm really hungry. Do you know what? I might buy us all a treat. Oh no, you two don't want them, do you?
I can have a treat.
Did you know that there is something like 570 different spaghetti bolognese?
540 versions.
Yeah.
59-year-old Biruse has come to A&E with his friend Seema after having problems with his speech.
I love food. Can't you tell from my stomach? Doesn't matter what type of food. Even talking about it makes me feel good.
I'd put mushrooms, carrots, peas, all sorts, so that would be there in the bolognese sauce.
Food is very important to us. It's the focus for Iranian culture. This language of love is how you show your appreciation. It brings people together.
I really don't like this phrase, slap-up meal. What does it mean? It makes it look like so cheap and nasty.
What can you do? It is an English word, and you have to use it.
I've known Seema 40 years. Without Seema, I wouldn't be here. And I always said that to her.
There's never been any romantic element?
No. She's like my sister. We met in Iran 6 months before the revolution. She was living in London. She only came for a holiday, a few weeks.
I used to go to summer school here to improve my English. He asked me if I could help him to come over to UK, so I went and enrolled his name in a college and got a letter from them to say that he's invited to come over.
Because in Iran, they wouldn't give you a passport if you didn't have acceptance letter. She did this for me, and I'm forever grateful.
If you just come in and have a sit in here. So my name's Phil, I'm one of the doctors. Okay. So how can I help you? What's going on?
Why it happened, I applied for a job. A lady phoned up to interview me, and I just couldn't answer her. You know, I was talking a load of well, I do normally talk a load of rubbish, but this was particularly rubbish because everything was coming out of my mouth that I didn't want to say.
Did you know what you wanted to say?
Well, the thing is, what I wanted to say, my brain, it was totally different to what I actually said.
When I was coming to England before the revolution, the border in Iran was like Piccadilly Circus, and I didn't have a ticket.
Everybody else is happy that I can't talk, but you know.
But you can hear them talking to you.
Of course I can.
But you just can't speak back to them.
Yeah.
Seema's father used to come to England a lot, so he knew people at the airport, and he gave them some money and got me a ticket. As soon as I left Iran, they closed the airport. That was the last flight to come out of Iran. I was happy that I'm out, because otherwise I would have been killed or disabled, or even if I lived, I would be a totally different person to what I am now. So, luck, I suppose. My name means lucky in English.
Either these are types of seizure activities, or you are having a blood clot infecting the speech centre. It's very difficult to know exactly which one of the two that is.
Hello, St George's. Yeah, go for it. Yeah. Yeah. Do we know the height of the fall? Yeah. Thanks, bye. Adult male trauma calls 6 minutes.
A 92-year-old man is being rushed to St George's after falling at his care home.
I just got into bed and I got a phone call from my mum saying that Dunk had been taken to hospital. We can see St George's roof from our kitchen window. So I leapt out of bed, pulled on a pair of jeans and ran over to the hospital.
We should have a space in 3.
I was scared. I thought, oh God, please no. Is this it?
What can be a simple fall can be catastrophic and life-threatening to an old person. You're worried about a whole host of things. If they have significant bleeding, particularly into their brain. When the brain fills with blood, it causes increased pressure and there's nowhere for that blood to get to. The worst case scenario would be devastating bleeding inside the brain, which would be unsurvivable.
That's gorgeous.
Thanks, Cheryl.
Right, this is Arthur. He's 92. He lives in a residential care home. He was trying to get into his bed and he's toppled forward and hit his head on a wooden bedside table. There was probably about 100 ml blood loss. He's got about 4 or 5 cuts to his head, a small hematoma at the front, and a sort of 2-inch, 3-inch skin tear on his right arm.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah. Primary survey, heavy.
So what happened today? I was just had my tablets and a little vision. I just walked around the bed and for some reason I fell on the side. It was so easy how it happened.
Arthur, we're going to do a scan just to check your head, okay? So we're going to go do that in a wee minute.
I feel very protective over my grandfather. He's just very close. He's always been there. When I was younger, I wasn't very well. I was in hospital for probably about a year to 2 years, constantly.
Skin laceration, so I'm going to clean it up and just stick it back together and clean nice.
It was difficult growing up for me, so spending time with my grandparents was really important to me because I felt safe. They were my refuge.
We're ready in CT whenever we are.
Perfect. Okay. I'm going to scan and make sure there's nothing bleeding inside.
Times like this really makes me realise he means the world to me. I can't imagine life without him.
So we're going to slide you over, okay?
Arthur has fallen at his care home. Doctors are concerned he has a bleed on the brain.
There we go. All right. We just have to lay as you are, don't move.
We call him Dunk because back when my older sister was learning to talk, she couldn't say Grandad. So it became Grand Dunk and then it got shortened to Dunk. Dunk is 92 years old. But I think he feels like he's 28. Up until recently, he was still exercising on his exercise bike. He also recently learned how to bake cakes, thanks to Mary Berry, and they're amazing. There's no stopping him. He's a very quiet and assuming man, but he's courageous, he's funny, he's full of love. He's like our hero in the family, I think.
Archer, get your family, okay?
All right. Oh,
Right.
what are you doing here?
You okay?
Yeah.
Mwah.
Just fell over, banged my head, my arm. There's bloody blood everywhere. I was on the floor, I couldn't move, I couldn't get up. But the blood, I don't know where it come from.
We've got a CT scan of his head and his neck. We're waiting for the results.
Right, okay. Okay, thank you.
Dunk was born in South Wales in 1925. He had a very large family. He had 10 siblings. He went to school up until he was 14, and then he was sent to work in the mines. It was a very tough environment. It was dark, very claustrophobic. He couldn't breathe. It wasn't much life for him. He knew there had to be something better to do. He was determined to get out. So he joined the Merchant Navy.
Were you using your walker?
Well, then what I was doing. I didn't have no television on.
Travelling on ships at that time was very, very dangerous. They were in the middle of the war, so they were responsible for taking cargo around the world, and that meant considerable dangers with bombings from aeroplanes, submarines. They would see boats around them being targeted and sunk. I think it was very scary. I've lost count of how many countries he's visited. He visited Casablanca, Bombay, Brazil. He's been all over the world. I don't think it was a very typical thing for a boy from South Wales to do. It's just incredible, the experiences he's had.
Well, at least you've still got your tattoo. You know the story of you getting your tattoo?
74 years ago, we had a good drink in Bombay.
So you were last to go, and by that time, they'd got him, the tattooist so drunk that that's what Doc ended up with. What was it supposed to be?
A dove.
A dove. I always thought it was a sparrow. I didn't realise it was meant to be a dove. Oh dear.
I need to examine you. Just swing your legs up there for me.
Like this?
Yeah, that's fine, thank you. Good, listen to your heart.
What does it say?
Doctors are investigating why Biruse temporarily lost his ability to speak 2 days ago.
Sit forward. Breathe in. And out. And in. And out. Sit back. Quick feel of your tummy. Not pain in your tummy at all?
No. When I came over here, I didn't know nothing. Is that the right way of saying it? I didn't know anything about London, England. I didn't even know what the money is.
He lived with us for a bit. My mum, my brother and sister, myself, while he settled himself and found his own place.
I learned my English on, bus stops, talking to the old ladies.
He always used to come and say, "What's this word? I've just heard this word. What does it mean?"
Touch your nose, touch my finger. Touch your nose, touch my finger. Good.
But I didn't know any of the food here. I found out there are so many hundred cheeses in this country.
Show me teeth.
When I was in Iran, I didn't like alcohol. I mean, I didn't even know what lager is. But I started drinking it and liked the thing. And then I carried on from there to whiskey, vodka, and whatever. So it was very educating, I suppose.
Can you feel me touching both your hands? Feels the same?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, as soon as I left my studying, I started working.
It's going to tap on your arm.
I started as a washer-up in a restaurant business, and then soon I became a waiter, manager, until I owned my own Italian restaurant. I used to cook a lot more Italian than Persian food.
Put your hands out straight for me and turn your hands over. Keep your hands there, shut your eyes. That's fine, open your eyes. And one last thing, I want you to tap your hand back and forth as fast as you can. Okay.
For the person who didn't know anything, who came here,
And back and forth as fast as you can.
I did actually the progress quite well.
That's fine.
But in between, it's been a few hiccups.
Okay, fine. So look, why don't you have a sit in the waiting room? I need to have a chat to the neurologist. Okay, so I'll call you back in as soon as I've made the phone call.
Oh, wow. My mouth is horrendous. I'm going to send you a picture. It's got even worse since the last time.
Hello.
Hello.
You can see you're having a bit of a reaction to something. You're not sure.
I'm definitely not going to have any collagen injections. I know that's put me off for life.
Shot of what could be.
Yeah, exactly. All right, thank you.
How are you feeling?
My chest is heavy, but...
Heavy. I feel like a big weight on it.
Yeah,
That's when
it's
to press
heavy.
it.
Johan is in resus with severe chest pains.
So I'm just going to do a scan of your heart, right?
Okay, yes.
A cardiologist has arrived to conduct an ultrasound to see whether he suffered a heart attack.
Turn that side, roll over please, if you can. Thank you.
Oh.
Just there, well done.
After the revolution, my dad met my mum, and they had me. I was born in Tehran. After the revolution, everything changed. We had to leave Iran. They took away our house, our land. They took away everything. My mum brought me to England just before I was turning 1. For my dad, it was a bit harder. He needed documents in order to come over.
Breathe in. Out.
My mum had to come to England in order to sort out his stuff and to bring him over to the country.
Okay, breathe normally, that's fine. But let me have a chat with my boss.
Shall I get your daughter?
Yes.
Yeah?
What's happened? What's going on?
They give me the morphine, tablets and everything.
They've just done a scan of the heart. Have a look at that, talk to the other doctors, wait for the blood tests to come back, and just keep an eye on it and see where to go from there.
Thank you. How can I go home? My dad's in hospital.
You are working.
I'm tired. I've just had a long day. Literally.
I was around 3-4 when my dad came to England. It took some time for me to build a relationship with my dad when he came over because I had it in my head that my uncle was my dad. And everyone's like, oh, this is your dad. And he's like, hi. And I'm like looking around like, what the hell, you're not my dad. So I just ran up the stairs. And I go and hide in the wardrobe. And then they found me and they're like, why are you running away for? I'm like, that's not my dad. I had to adjust and build to him and, get comfortable with the fact that, yeah, this is my dad, actually.
Why are you holding yourself like that?
اینجام دیگه درد میکنه. خیلی درد مثلا.
I think he found it very hard trying to build a life and trying to build something Obviously, he's already got depression and the mental health issues because of the war. He became very weak as well. He couldn't work for too long. The last job I remember my dad doing is where he was fixing cars. He loves cars. And he got fired from it, I believe. I didn't have an understanding of everything until hit around probably 17, 18. I wouldn't understand why my dad would just stay in a room all the time and not want to come out or not want to do something with me or take me somewhere. As an Iranian man, losing the role of the breadwinner, it made him lose his confidence and his pride. It made him more down and depressed. You know, caused problems between him and my mum. My mum and dad, they're separated and they have been separated for 7 years.
زندگیت از همه چی مهمتره. میگم شما دیگه باید مواظب خودت باشی. میفهمی چی میگم؟
واسه اولین بار اومدم همه جا تو رو میدیدم.
You always think that your parents are going to look after you. But it's now your turn to take responsibility and look after your parents. When the roles reverse, that's when you know that you've grown up.
I'm gonna take off this dressing and see what's underneath.
Right.
Wait, last little bit. Sorry, sir, this is awful, isn't it? It's not too bad, it's just kind of abrasions on your head. Give it a clean and pop some sort of dressing on for you. Okay.
Well.
With the scalds, if it bleeds a lot. We'll see what the scan shows and then take it from there.
Thank you.
Oh, hi there. It's the granddaughter of Arthur. Just wondering, is my grandmother, is she still awake? Okay, thank you. Okay. Hello, I'm with Dunk, okay? Dunk, say hi to Nana.
Great, Nana. How are you?
Nana and Dunk met when they were very, very young. They grew up in the same village. They went to school together.
Yeah. I see you in the morning. Okay. Have a good sleep.
I never really gave him a thought until we were grown up. We started going to little dances. We wouldn't go out of the room without kissing one another. We were courting for about 2 years. When he got leave, he came and stayed at my mother's in Croydon. He said to me, "Do you want to get married?" I said, "I don't care," just like that. My mum said, "Well, if you want to get married." So that was on the Tuesday. We got married on the Monday. I think I borrowed a blouse off my sister and I had a hat with all the flowers on in the front, yeah. And that was it.
You're right.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
Sarah, I wish you wouldn't stop. I wish you'd go out.
No, but I don't leave you on your own.
Yeah.
Nana and Dunk have been married 72 years this year. And they've now have 3 grandchildren and 4 great-grandchildren. They both have suffered recently with health. So we had to make the decision to move them into a home. They have rooms, about 3 rooms away from each other. Each night they'll have a cuddle and he'll put her to bed. And then he'll go to bed and have a whiskey.
Hello. Hello, my name is Milan. I'm the night doctor.
Hi.
The CT report says there isn't any acute injury.
There's no acute injury.
There's no acute injury, but I think we need to keep him in hospital for observation at least for the next 24 hours to see if things are all going well.
Yeah, okay.
I do feel responsible for him, very much so. You know, I love him to bits.
It's your baby.
And was what?
The baby.
I was the baby of the family, yeah, I was, wasn't
She got spoiled. I don't want to spoil her.
I wonder who.
I don't tell her, but she's our favourite, yeah. Yeah, she's a lovely kid.
No, you go. All right now. Thanks. I'm all right, don't worry about me.
I don't think getting old worries Dunk, but Dunk getting old does worry me because it's facing up to that realisation that he's not going to be in my life forever.
Well, good night, man. Good night.
Sleep well, okay?
Yeah, I will.
Get some sleep.
Yeah, bye.
Keep warm.
Bye.
We think he's invincible, and he kind of is, but we also know that time's precious with him.
When he said to me, who are you in relation to you? I just said, I was thinking long-term friend, and then that sounded like I was your mistress or something. Sounded a bit dodgy.
Hi, it's Phil, one of the ED Regis. How's it going? So I've got a 59-year-old man. Now, the reason why he's here today is 2 days ago he had an episode where he was having a job interview on the phone, and just in the middle of the conversation he said he just couldn't get the words out that he wanted to get out. Essentially, the history is that he had cancer quite a few years ago.
I gave up cigarette in May 2008, just before my 50th birthday. And I was still coughing around Christmas. I've given up cigarettes before and I know what it feels like, and it didn't feel right. I went to the doctors and she sent me for an X-ray. They saw a shadow and he says to me, I've got bad news and good news for you. I said, okay, let's have the bad one. He says, you've got cancer. I said, okay. I said, what is the good one? He says, I can cure it. There's a new method that you can give chemotherapy first, and then, if it needed, do the operation. He did cure it. And I didn't think anything about it after that, until 2 years later. I was having a lot of headaches. Then I got the secondary cancer. I got the brain tumor.
OK, so perfect. So I'll refer them to neurology here, and then obviously they can decide what they want to do. OK, perfect. All right, cheers, thanks, bye. Come on in. Sorry, I've had a chat to the neurology doctor. So when did you have the brain surgery?
2011.
Is that operated on here?
No, over there.
Where was that?
In Iran.
Iran, fine. And so they opened up the skull and you had a resection?
That's right, yeah.
Fine.
When you talk to him, you wouldn't think it was serious. Oh, yes, they drilled through my head and they did this and they did that, and he's very matter of fact and very positive about it. He's got hope, but in whatever way I can, I'll try and support him. That's what best friendships are about.
She says, look, it probably does sound more like seizure activity, given that you've had the brain surgery in the past. So what we're going to do is we're going to refer you to neurologists. They'll see you first, and they're going to see people within 48 hours.
I've been lucky. There aren't that many people, they have two, cancer, one after the other, within a year, and come out of it, Well, it hasn't been easy, but I've been lucky, and a lot of it is to do with me being optimistic.
Is that all right?
Well, it has to be, yes.
There's a Persian proverb. There was a guy standing there and saying that he was worried about not having shoes, and then he saw a guy who hasn't got a feet. So he said, well, and that is the kind of way I've been living.
Okay, thank you very much, sir.
What you have today, enjoy it. could be damn sight worse tomorrow.
Is everything okay?
He's going to need to come in
Okay.
to have some blood tests to check his heart to make sure it's okay.
Okay.
But-
Do you know what it is that I really and truly want to know? Is he all right? I don't want to walk out here and my dad died. Do you understand where I'm coming from?
I mean,
that's my only
that's
problem.
why we need to bring him in just to check his cardiac enzymes.
Okay.
It is hard when your family's not well because I can't pay for people to go and look after them, and I wouldn't really want to trust people to go and look after my family. It would have to be me.
His ECG is abnormal. Sometimes an echo doesn't pick up everything.
I didn't do college. I went into work straight away. I've got 2 jobs. I just wanted to make money, and that's what my family needed. Hopefully I'll become rich and make him happy, and you don't need to worry about nothing.
You see me, I panic, because obviously you have to understand that's my dad, innit? So I'm a panic. Do you understand where I'm coming from?
He's got hopes and dreams, you know. He hasn't had a chance to go back to Iran. We've just all stayed here since. I know my dad really wants to go and see his mum and his brothers. I just feel like it'll bring a sense of joy to him. I have a feeling like he'll go there, see everyone, and it'll brighten him up, and then maybe he'll come back with a bit more confidence and like happiness. I want to make this happen.
I love you.
Yep. He's going to be admitted into the medical team. He's going to get admitted for further investigation.
He raised me, so I want to give him in return everything that he's given me. And make sure he's happy.
He doesn't like being, in his words, a bother. He didn't think he needed to be in hospital. He just wanted to be at home with his whiskey, with the TV, and close to Nana. He just wanted to be at home with Nana.
What's the secret to a long marriage?
I don't think there is one. You just do what you're told to listen. Don't argue and don't answer back.
Whatever life has thrown at him, he's really just made the best of what he could. That is what I really admire in him. He's definitely a half-full glass guy.
You only live once, so make sure you enjoy it. And eat till it's finished.
When my dad went to the wards, he went from something that we didn't think was so big into something so major so quickly. He ended up actually having an 11-hour surgery. When they opened up his heart, they saw that the veins around his heart had all gone. So they had to take the veins from his arms and his leg in order to recreate the veins around his heart. I only found out about that the day after. So automatically I'm thinking the worst. He's a bit more joyful, you know. I feel like he is getting better and he is getting a bit stronger. I just want him to get, you know, when you want them to be how just 100% strong and, you know, everything. I know he'll get there.
All the time in hospital brought us more closer to each other. She's everything. I love her very much.